No, 5. Sugar. Good job, guys. 5. 22 minutes grip.
22 minutes left.
На сборах были 3 недели, приехали. Опасность, конечно, если человек чемпион на какой-то вес, особенно у нас в организации, там таких проходных не бывает, так что подхожу.
JDM did an interview just, I think, this week, and he broke down that he believes Islam's stand-up is a little bit easier to deal with than Bilal's because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody on the stand-up. Any MMA fighter that's a striker, that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up. Guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So, no. Don't go by what you see. When you get in there with that man, it's a whole different ball.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has officially returned to training camp as a coach for Islam Makhachev's upcoming welterweight title fight against Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. The former champion was seen actively guiding his students, including Islam and Usman, making sure they are fully prepared for their upcoming battles.
Left.
But it was 4 rounds, but we have to do this 22 minutes, 2 rounds. 11, 1 minute rest. 5. The last.
Islam Makhachev believes Jack Della Maddalena would be a tough challenge, especially after watching his strong performance against Belal Muhammad. He recalled Jack's early difficulties with wrestling, but acknowledged how much he has improved by training with top-level grapplers. Islam described Jack as a dangerous championship-caliber fighter, but added that their matchup would quickly determine who the true top man in the sport is.
Do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
Islam admitted that moving up in weight was more difficult than he expected, since he was used to cutting weight rather than adding size. Even with extra strength training and a customized program, he said he had only managed to put on a few kilos. He made it clear that he wasn't interested in bulking up by overeating, but preferred to build muscle through disciplined training so he could maintain his strength in the right way.
Try to be big, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, I try to lift more. We do some program and like slowly, we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, eating and not training. I want to be with like muscles, I want to training and bring some.
At a recent press conference, Makhachev spoke about adjusting to the welterweight division. He explained that before training camps, he typically stayed around 183 to 185 pounds. But with improved diet and conditioning, he now maintains a steady 189. According to him, this weight makes him feel strong and sharp when sparring with natural welterweights. He added that putting on extra bulk isn't necessary, since his current preparation already has him ready for the division.
Islam, what is your weight now? How much did your weight change, and how did your physical condition, your physical preparation change? Up until last camp, I think my weight was about 83, 84, but now with the right regimen, with the right diet, my weight is now 86 and a half. Yesterday was 86 and a half. I think right now I'm where I need to be. I'm at the right weight. I'm at the place where I feel comfortable with working out, sparring, and working with the guys that usually fight at 77. To continue to gain the weight from now on is not necessarily the goal of mine. I mean, it might go up by 1 or 2 kgs in training still, but we're already done plenty of work during this camp with heavyweights to make sure to gain the proper weight that we need.
Islam also discussed the possibility of moving back down after his first fight at welterweight. He admitted that making 155 pounds had always been difficult, and said the decision would depend on how his body felt afterward if he continued competing around 85 to 86 kilos. He added that his team would need to carefully consider which direction to take next.
Ever consider going back down to lightweight, because with everything you said, most likely cutting weight is going to be only harder. Depends on how much weight I'll gain after the fight. So if I'm going to go up to 83 or 84, that's possible. But if we'll go up to 85, 86, then I'm not sure. I mean, it was never an easy thing to cut weight. So we'll have to sit down with the team and we'll have to figure out what the next move is.
Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria was asked about Makhachev's move to welterweight and a potential fight with Jack Della Maddalena, but he dismissed the idea. He made it clear that the matchup didn't concern him and admitted he had no interest in even thinking about it.
Makhachev will do it 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena.
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that. So
Ilia Topuria also offered Jack Della Maddalena some advice on how to deal with Makhachev. He suggested targeting the body with straight punches to make Islam hesitant about shooting for takedowns. Topuria believed that consistent body work could slow down Islam's wrestling and added that he admired Jack's overall striking style and approach inside the cage.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
the advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at striking. I like how he fights.
Former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira considered Jack Della Maddalena a serious threat because of his patient style, pointing out how Jack wore down Belal Muhammad over time instead of rushing for a finish. Even so, he believed Makhachev would benefit from moving up in weight, arguing that the added strength would make his grappling even more effective. Oliveira saw the fight as hinging on whether Jack could stay on his feet long enough to use his striking, or if Islam's control on the ground would ultimately take over.
Você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo.
Daniel Cormier described a potential clash between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev as a thrilling, high-stakes matchup. He said Jack's current form makes the fight especially intriguing, given that Islam has yet to test himself at welterweight. Cormier questioned whether Makhachev could handle Jack's physicality, noting that while Islam is a big lightweight, his slimmer frame might not match Jack's size at 170 pounds. He called it a fantastic, big-time fight, adding that if Jack performs the way he did against Belal, the matchup becomes even more interesting. Cormier also advised Islam to sharpen his wrestling before facing Della Maddalena, pointing out Jack's improved takedown defense and reminding that Islam had struggled at times to ground Dustin Poirier. For that reason, he felt Makhachev would need his grappling to be at its very best to control someone as dangerous as Jack.
Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena who showed great takedown defense. And man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good.
On the other hand, Sean Brady admitted he was rooting for Makhachev, seeing a fight with him as a career-defining challenge and an opportunity to test his grappling against the best. Still, when asked for a prediction, he leaned toward Jack Della Maddalena, saying the Australian was being overlooked and had the skills to surprise people.
For me, I would want Islam to win because I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing, and I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, and I know Jack would be the...
Sean Brady felt that Makhachev's move to a new division really shook things up. He noted that Islam and Ilia Topuria appear to be circling each other for a future clash, which could shape the direction of both fighters' careers. In his view, a setback would likely push Islam back down to lightweight, but a win might keep him at welterweight for a while, possibly defending the title a couple of times before either giving it up or stepping away from the sport.
Islam coming up is what kind of fucked up this whole division in the first place, you know, but you can't be mad at him. If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing the same thing. But I know him and Topuria are trying to set something up. If he wins, I think he's staying at 170. I think the chances of him, I think if he loses, there's a bigger chance of him going back down to 155, and then maybe them still doing that Ilia Topuria fight. That's how I think of it. I think if he wins at 170, he'll defend it 1 or 2 times, and then he'll bounce from there. Yeah, and vacate or retire. Like those guys, they're not fighting very late into their 30s, you know, they're retiring early, so I could...
Welterweight champion Alexander Volkanovski also broke down the fight, pointing to Jack Della Maddalena's performance against Belal Muhammad as the perfect preparation for facing Makhachev. He felt that successfully defending takedowns in that matchup gave Jack a huge mental boost. Volkanovski added that Jack's wrestling defense has improved to the point where even elite grapplers would struggle to control him, both in training and in competition.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worried about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding.
Similarly, Arman Sarukian reflected on Makhachev's progress since the first time they fought. He pointed out that Islam's striking and clinch work have become much more polished, and what was once a weakness in his conditioning has now turned into one of his strengths. Above all, Sarukian emphasized the value of Islam's years of experience, calling it the key factor behind his overall growth.
Islam's gotten since your debut, where you fought him.
Yeah, he improved his striking, very good, his clinch, his cardio. He used to have bad cardio, his cardio way better. And I mean, his experience, of course, the most important.
UFC bantamweight Malcolm W. Maker acknowledged Jack Della Maddalena's impressive skills, but insisted that Makhachev is still the superior fighter. He admitted that moving up to welterweight could be a real test for Islam, but expressed confidence that the champion's ability to adapt would allow him to succeed and continue proving his championship pedigree.
That looked real good, but I think Islam is the best, man. I think Islam is the absolute best. I do think, obviously, you know, moving up a big difference in weight class will have some effect, but I think that he'll be the champion that we know him to be, and he'll find.
Philip Rowe also shared his thoughts on the matchup and leaned toward Jack Della Maddalena. He argued that Makhachev's dominance at lightweight might not fully carry over to welterweight. Rowe believed Jack's ability to get back up after takedowns, combined with his punching power, could wear Islam down. In his view, the fight would likely end with Jack securing a finish.